So last time we discussed basics, and from the function side we have seen compile and find all only, right? Import RE. So we'll start from search method. So if you are searching for a pattern, one method is your find all and second is search. So let's quickly write the telephone number validation which we did last time. So let's say I have a string 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. What will be the regular expression? I got compile at start. Yeah, exactly 6 to 9. Then it will be 0 to 9. Okay, 9 and ending it. Right. Okay. So similar to find all, we have something called search. So the pattern it takes is exactly similar. So I'm saying re dot search. Okay. First I need to pass the regular expression. Second thing I'm passing the string. So what is the return type of find all? So what is the answer if I use find all method? Exactly. So find all will check for all the occurrences, multiple occurrences, and it will return a list. On the other hand, search method will return something called match object. Okay? So it is actually an object of a class match. It will not return a list. Now what is search method will do? It will just search for only one occurrence of this particular pattern. So let's say if I'm writing multiple phone numbers here, it will just check first valid pattern. Okay, and it will return a match object. So if a pattern matches, it will return a match object. Otherwise, it will return a none. Okay, so if I say print m, so it will give me something called match object. Okay, if you want to see what exactly matched, you have to use a method called group. Now it will show me what is matched using this particular pattern using search method. Okay, if I provide an invalid string, okay, this is throwing me error. So it's saying none type object has no attribute group. Why? So search method, it will check if pattern exists or not. If pattern exists, it will return a match object. If not, it will return none. Okay. Now here you are saying m dot group. That means, so this group method is for a particular class, that is match. So if match object exists, then only you can print the group. But if it's none, then you are saying none dot group. And that is the reason it will throw an error. So whenever you are using this group method, you have to write something if m. That means if m exists, if m is not none, then only print the group. Else print okay. So why we need this method? Okay, and why the name is called group? Okay, so let's take another example. I want to check a date format, and it should be compulsory. Let's say mmdd. Okay, so this is the pattern I need to evaluate. What will the regular expression? What should I write? All right. Okay. Hyphen I want. Okay, where's my string? So let's say I'm giving output input as 22, 0, 1, let's say 201, something like this. Okay, search. So this will check. Okay. Now the problem with this is okay, right? Now this type of validation I cannot perform using regular expression. So the purpose of regular expression is to extract the pattern. That's it. It cannot perform any kind of validations. So now the next job is if you are getting a date, if it's in looks like it's a valid format, we cannot directly accept it, right? So I need to check if this is less than a. So for that I need to extract this 0 to 9 first. So I need to extract this date. I need to extract this month first, right? So exactly. Exactly. So first thing will be extracting and then validating, right? So using this approach, what I'm getting a match dot group. So if I just print the type of this, okay, it's a string. So now in short, if I want this date and this to be separated, what I can do, let's say L is equals to, let's say S1 is equals to M dot group. I'll get the entire string which is matched. Then I need to split it. S1 dot split. I want to split on the basis of hyphen. Okay, and print this out. Okay, so now I have this separated, and then I can check, get the individual value and check. Okay, if I have large numbers to extract, then it's again tedious process. So just to solve this, we have something called groups. Okay, so how to use those groups? So I want date and month. I am putting parentheses here. Okay. So we have seen this m dot group, right? If I print it, I'll get this entire pattern. If I say group of 0 now, it will give me entire pattern. If I say group of 1, I'll get the date. If I say group of 2, I'll get the month. If I say group of 3, I'll get error. Why? It will say no match group, don't such group. Why? Because now I have specified 1 and a 2 groups. Okay. So if I want third group also, I need to do something like this. Now it will give me the third group also. So once I am extracted this state, then I can run my if else condition and I check depending on the month whether it's less than or not. Okay. So this is also one. Exactly. So you can just group things and whatever you want to extract from this. So it's like from a valid pattern, you are extracting the data. So first thing what you are doing is extract the data. Once this is extracted, from that extracted data, extract some sort of subset of data. Okay. So this is again practice. Try it at home. I am able to extract the data. I need to make sure that check the month, and on the check basis of month, check if 31 is allowed or not. So if more than 31 is provided, then print this is an invalid date. Okay. So how you can extract the data using your m.group methods. Okay. So now let's say, but you have 4 to 5 groups, or let's say 10 groups like this. Okay. So it's difficult for me to every time get the index. So I need to count it and check. Let's say if I have more than 10, then it will be tedious job to do. So for that we have concept of named groups. So I'm saying question mark P. Here I'm saying, okay, this is a day. Here I'm saying question mark P. This is a month. And here I'm saying question mark P. This is it. Okay. Now instead of printing this indexes, now I can just say get me the date. I'll get a date. Okay. So this is called as your named groups. So you can define a name for a particular month, which will help you now to extract the data. Okay. We have something called non-capturing group. Okay. So let's go back to the telephone number example. So here, let's say along with this, so this is a valid one. So yes, okay. So I have multiple valid formats now. Okay, so I need to make sure that someone can write +91 before actually entering the telephone number. Okay. For now, let's remove this space. This is the pattern. Opening parenthesis +91 and then this. If someone is entering like this, I need to make sure that if someone enters without this, it should also work. So I want to specify this entire group as option. Okay. So what modification do I need to do? So I'm adding okay. Now defaultly it will consider this as a group only. Okay. It will not consider as a parenthesis. So I'm saying question mark. So put it like this. Understood what I did? So this slash is my escape now. So this parenthesis is not my group concept. This is actually for actual parenthesis which I want here. Okay. And to define a group, I am using this parenthesis here. Okay. And this is optional, I am saying. Right. Let's just quickly write. Search. So now it's taking optional, but why it's not printing the value? Interesting. So I'm saying this is optional, and still it's not capturing. So something like this. Now this is a group which is optional. Okay. So we'll first go through this concept and then we'll come back to this problem what we got. Okay. So for now, let's say plus 91 I'm writing, and now this is optional. So even if I remove this is a valid pattern for me. Why? Because I have said plus 91 is optional. Okay. But if I'm making this optional, defaultly if I say group, that is group of 0, it will capture it. If I say group of 1, I'll get plus 91 also. Okay. But I'm not interested in this plus 91. So let's say if my business is only for my country, I am only interested in this part. I don't want to capture this information at all. Okay. So we can something specify as question mark and so if I specify like this, then it is called as a non-capturing group. So now Python will not capture a data for this. So if I say this, if I say group of 0, and now if I say group of 1, it will throw me an error saying no such group exists. Okay. So if you want to specify something which is completely optional and you don't want to capture the value for it, then you can specify as a question mark and colon. It is called as a non-capture. Okay. Now come back to this. If I am specifying this as a pattern, let me try this way. Let's call it as a raw string. Let's get character. And now this is my pattern. Group. Okay. So if I remove this non-capturing thing, right. So if I say equals okay, so I need to specify it as a raw string because without that it's not considering this parenthesis as a normal parenthesis. It's still considering as a group only. Okay, so that is the reason to turn off that mode I have specified as a raw string here. So yes, now I want this entire thing to be completely non-capturing. So here I'll just put question mark and colon. And now this is my non-capturing. So if I say 0, I get the entire thing. If I say only put, I get this thing. Okay. Yeah, so if I put R, just R, so that means raw string. So generally when we specify, if it is defined string like this, if I put /n, now it has a special meaning. Okay, if you are trying to match a pattern / and n, then it will not consider that because it has a special meaning. Same goes for your /t also. Okay, so for that, what you can do, you can just specify R at the starting. Now this /t is a /t, normal /n t. So it same goes whenever you are specifying a file name in your file path. So if I don't put this, then this /t will be considered as a tag character. Okay, so if you want to match up with a space, we have something called /s. If you want to match anything other than space, then I can say /S. If I want to match only digits, /d. So it is exactly similar as writing 0 to 9. So either I can write 0 to 9 or I can write /d. So this is for your digits. If I say /D, it is actually complement of 0 to 9. That means everything other than the digits. If you want to match with alphanumeric, then it is /w. So now it will match up. It's exactly same as small a to z, capital A to z, and 0 to 9. So instead of writing all these things, that is A to Z, capital A to Z, and 0 to 9, you can directly write /w. And if you want anything other than your alphanumeric characters, you can say /capital W. Okay. So let's go back here. So here I'm replacing this with /d. Okay. Again, I need to specify as /d. Okay. So month. Okay. So it will work in the same way. So now if I just see the pattern. Okay. So these are the wildcards. Now, similar to search method, we have another method called match. Okay. So what is the difference between search and match? So if I'm writing the search method and I'm writing something like this. Okay, this is my string. From this string, I need to find out this pattern. Okay. If I execute this, it will extract this pattern. The another method which we have is match. Okay. So what is this match will do? So match will only search for this particular pattern at start of the string. And now here at start I have something called today's, which is the string, normal string, or alphabets. So in that case I will get pattern not found. Why? Because your match method will only search at start of the string. On the other hand, search will try to search in entire string and only return the first occurrence. So if I'm specifying two dates here, match will still return pattern not found, but if I use search, it will still get me the first element only. If I want all the occurrences, I should use find all method. Okay.
If you write the A something, A12 2018, I can put search method will give.
Because it will start checking from pattern from here. It will completely ignore this. Okay. So these are the concepts in your regular expressions. So let's start with the functional programming topics. So we'll start with list comprehension. Okay. So we'll start with list comprehension. Right. Okay. So you can write your entire Python code without list comprehension also. Okay. Then what is the need of learning comprehension? Is so it's just optimization for your creating the lists. Okay. So if you see the time complexity wise, list comprehensions are better than the normal formats. Okay. So let's discuss when we can use list comprehensions and when we cannot, and what I can do with comprehension. So Let's say I have a list 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. If I want to perform some operation on every element, okay, and I want to transform a list into another list, okay. If I want to transform one list into another list, then I can use list comprehension, okay. So how you can, so let's say I want square of each number. How you can do using for loop quickly. So let's say I'm taking a blank list, okay. So let's say for value in L, okay. Here L2 dot append,
I value into value.
okay. Better way of writing this. Ultimately, I want a list. Okay, I'll write it in a square brackets. So to iterate over this list, I need for value in L. Okay, so I'm specifying to iterate over this list. Now, whatever item I will get, whatever value I will get, I want square of that. So in comprehension, on the left hand side, you'll always specify the output which you want. So here I'm just writing value into, okay. So I'll write my for loop. Something which is related to the output, I will always specify at the start of the list. Okay. So if you see, I am here also using the for loop, then why this list comprehension is fast. Okay. So defaultly you can see I'm just writing value into value and still it is constructing a list for me. So whenever you are using list comprehension, uh, it's built in, it will use the compiled code of your append method. So that is the reason as the code is already compiled for this L2.append method, externally you writing the code and giving the call to that function, this append call is much more faster than compared to this particular normal append call. Okay, so that is the reason. So I'll show you the time difference also. So let's take a bigger range. Let's say I want square of 1 million numbers. Okay, so let's define a range instead of list. So start from 1, go to let's say 10 millions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is 1 million.
Value square also you can write.
Uh-huh.
Value square instead of writing value into value. Can you write value square power of it?
Okay.
We have improved.
No, the power operator. Okay, so I have this. I'll not write a print statement. We'll just check time it takes to create this particular list. Okay. Now, if you want to check the time, we have something called time it. Okay. So it's a library which provides a function to check the time.
So
So
in every file you have to import library, or once if you import that will be there.
no, for every module you have to import.
Okay.
So if I'm writing time it here, so there is a function. So it will return time. So this is time it dot time it. Okay. So the entire code for which you want to check the performance, you will write in a triple quotes as a parameter called statement. So I'm saying stmt is equals to triple quotes. So I want to check the performance for this operation. Okay, and I need to specify how many times this particular function should run. Okay, so I'll just show you why I am writing this number 1. So if I do help of time it dot time, so So it will try to execute whatever statement you are passing to execute this much number of times, and it will return you this time. So now I'm explicitly specifying that I'm already specifying a very large length, and so don't execute multiple times, just execute it one time. Okay, and let's print the where is my L2? Okay, it's taking some time. Okay, 12 seconds. I'm commenting this.
So what is that within bracket will finish in 13.4 seconds? And that is
So it's
all-
my entire program. So that's what I'm saying. So I want for this particular specific statements. Okay. I'll just write it here. I need this statement and I need the same range. So it's 12.68. So let's add a comment. 12.68 seconds. Okay. Sorry. So I'm specifying the same range here. So let's say t is equals to again time it dot time it. Specify the statement.
Yeah, but you take more to list.
Yes, it's kind of a keyword argument you are specifying. Okay. So all the codes which I want to execute. Why? So here I want this. T is equal to time it to so triple quotes. I want to end this here. Number equals to 1 bracket close. Okay, only one I need, and this is my same L2 which I generated using for loop. Okay, and let's print the time. Okay, so you can see this is the drastic difference. That is 2.66 seconds. Okay, so that is the reason it is always preferred that go with the comprehension. So when we discuss map filter, now map and filter are more optimized than your comprehension. Okay, so we'll do the same thing again for that also. So clear how I can check the execution time of any particular program. Okay. So you can use this to filter out few elements also. Let's say I have 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 and 40. Okay. I want only even numbers from this. So I can write my if-else condition also in terms of comprehension. Okay. So ultimately check the use case. I have a list. I want to transform into another list. Okay. So for that I need to iterate for value in L. Okay. I want this value only if value mod 2 equals 0. What should be the output? I want the exact same number. I don't want to do any changes in that number. But as its output, I will always specify on the left hand side. Okay. So print out. That's not working. Okay. So now I'll get only even elements. So this way I can write if else statement. Okay. Most important thing, So the thing is not to learn syntax of list comprehension. So the main thing to learn is where exactly you can apply the list comprehension. Okay. So I'm writing one statement. Every comprehension can be written using for loops. Okay. So whatever logic we have written, I can easily write a for loop for this. Okay. But that doesn't mean that every for loop can be converted to comprehension. Okay. This is the most important part. I can convert every comprehension into a for loop, but I cannot convert every for loop into comprehension. Okay. So which are the for loops I cannot convert? So let's say you have a list. Okay. I want sum of all elements. Okay. So when I want a single output from a list, such scenarios I cannot do using comprehension. So whenever I want to transform, so let's say input is one list, output is also a list. So that transformation, all that transformation we can write using comprehension. If you want something which will give you the single value based on some operation on this list, then that cannot be converted to the comprehension. Okay. Clear? Any confusion? Oops. So here what we are doing, I am filtering out on the particular condition. Okay, but still my output is same. Let's say I only want to store the different output. Let's say if number is even, I want to add even in the list. If number is odd, I want to add odd in the list. Okay. So as it is related to the output, I need to write it on the left hand side. So copy this, comment this out. Okay. So for that, let's have a look what I'm writing. So I'm removing the condition from. Okay. So I'm writing, instead of giving me the value, let me remove the L also. Okay. I'm saying output add even if okay, get the value. On the basis of that, now check the condition that if value mod 2 is 0, then output should be even. If not, then else output should be odd. Okay. So in this case, I want to filter out the elements. That's why I specified the condition on the right hand side, that is after my for loop. But here on the basis of value, I need to store multiple outputs. So that is the reason I added this condition on the left hand side. Okay. If I have a list of strings, let's say A, B, C, R, S, T, U, A, A, A. Okay. So from this list, I want another list which will store length of each element. What should I write? So I want length of each element as one element in this list. So one line for this, then this for this. Line of This will do.
You want to write every now within
Exactly.
comprehension within.
Exactly. How you will write using normal for loop?
First,
So let's say I have this blank list for, let's say, value in L.
into the person.
Okay. I can convert this thing into the comprehension. So this append method, I already have append here, right? So I'm not copying everything, I'm just copying this. This is my output, so it should be at start. I need a loop. I want to construct a dictionary. So this should be the key and the length should be the value. How you can convert a dictionary from two lists?
There is a function.
Yeah, we discussed this. Alright. Super file comma L2 over. I want a dictionary from the same typecast of the dictionary. Okay, so this is my key and this is the value. Okay.
So your key is string.
Yeah, key string. Okay. I can write nested for loop using comprehension also. Okay. So how you nested for loop works? So let's say if I say for val1 in range, let's say I'm taking 1 to 2, let's say 1 to 5. Okay. And I'm saying for val2 in range of 100 to 105. Okay, and print just val1 comma val2. Okay, so how your nested for it works? Pick one value from outer loop. For that value, complete the entire inner loop. So that's why you'll see 100, 101, 2, 4, range, right? Start from 2, then 100, 102, 3, 4. Same goes for this, right? Same thing I can write using comprehension also. L is equals to, I want val1 comma val2. Let's say for val1 in range of 1 to 5, and just start writing for val2 in range of 100 to 100. So I'll get the same output, that is 100, 101, 102, so on. So we have seen I can use if statement, I can use loops, I can use nested loops in the list comprehension. Try this. Let's say I have a list which contains list inside list. Okay. I want output as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah,
Nested list, right?
exactly.
Print elements of a list and print elements within that element.
Exactly. So if I say normal for loop, let's say for val1 in L, then for let's say val2 in val1. Exactly. And here I can create, let's say, another list to get it. So L2 is equals to square bracket. So let's say L2 dot append of val2, right? And dot val2, right? I want comprehension. All I need to do is just copy paste. Okay. Okay. Try this. Now I want a list inside a list. So just a hint, this is a list comprehension inside a list comprehension. Yeah. If you want, you can try it first with normal for loop. Okay. So ultimately, what exactly we need to do, just try to understand that, which will help you to build the logic. So in short, this is a matrix I have. Okay. When I say 147, I'm actually doing the transpose. That is 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. Okay. In short, how many rows I have? 3 rows, 3 columns. Okay. If I have more than this, let's say 9, 10, 11, and 12. Right. My answer will be 10, 11, and 12. Right. So I have now 4 number of rows which I'm converting, 4 columns, 3 columns I'm converting into rows. Okay. Logic, iterate over this list. Okay, in the first iteration you will get 1, 2, 3, right? You'll get entire list. If I'm just iterating over this list, right? From this list, initially let's pick only first element. Okay. In the next iteration, pick 4. Next time pick 7, then 10. Okay. Start iteration again. This time pick 2, pick 5, pick 8, and 11. Iterate again. Now this time pick 3, 6, 9. In short, how many times are you repeating this? 1, 2, 3 times I need to repeat this. Right? What is the 3? That means this is the length. This is the total number of columns. Right?
But selection was beginning.
There is something called transpose here.
It's not a built-in function.
Okay.
It's
So
not.
now how can you get like this way? Like increasing order?
So let's try to write a logic for this. So how many times I want this? It's total number of columns I have, right? Is it columns or should I do it for those columns, right? Okay. So let's try to write it for normal for loop. So if I say for value in range of len of what is total number of columns, that is L of 0. What I'll get? I'll get 3. Right? I'm saying L of 0. Yeah, for this condition should be, it's a matrix, so I should have all elements on all the rows. Yes, obviously. So if I'm saying L of 0, I will get only total number of columns, that is 3, which means I'm iterating over this list again. Okay. So whatever element I'll get, if I just say print L of value. Okay. Just a second. Okay, so if I execute this, I'll get 0. So what I need to do, I need to iterate from L of that element 0. Just a second if I'm doing it correct. So if I say for value to in L. So in the first iteration, I'll get the entire list, and from that, just print me the L of value. Sorry, it should be value 2 of getting this or not. Oops. So I'm iterating over this, so this will specify how many times I need to do this. Okay, that number of time I'll iterate over this entire list. Now this value will give me which element to fetch. So if this is 0, then from this entire list I will fetch 0th element. If it is 1, I'll fetch first element. If it's 2, I'll fetch second element. Okay. So if you see the output, now I'm getting 147258369. Right? It's just I want it in a proper format. So can you tell me how I can convert it to the proper format? So I want a list inside a list. Can I take a random list, let's say L3 equals to blank, and just write L3 dot append? Will it work? If I say L3 dot append, so I'll get the correct output, but it's not a list inside a list, right? How about this? Okay, so when I execute this entire loop, I need something which should be the one list. Okay, so create a temporary list. Now I cannot declare it outside the for loop because otherwise it will keep on adding into the same list. What I want when I go to the next iteration, this list should be empty. Okay, so that's the reason I'm creating it inside. So I'll keep on appending the entire list here. Okay, let's just check if I'm writing something as 4 by 3. Will this logic work? So 10, 11, and 12. Okay, working. Yeah, help me to convert to the comprehension. So here I'm writing 2 append methods, right? So this is not needed, right? Yeah. So I need this for loop. Okay. Now this will give me the element 0, 1, or 2, right? On the basis of that, I need to construct a method. Okay. So when I say L3 dot append, this is my outer append because this is inside this loop. If I want a list inside a list, obviously I'll be writing something like this. My this loop will go here. Okay. So now I'm iterating over this. So now I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. But from that I need to pick this value. So here I'm saying okay. Clear or confusing? Right. Okay. So this is your list comprehension. So inside a list comprehension, you can write your for loop, you can your if statements, and your list inside the list also. Okay. Now exactly similar to the list comprehension, we have something called dictionary comprehension also. Okay. So just change the brackets and you can use a dictionary comprehension. If I do not specify key value pair, it will become a set comprehension. Just keep in mind, I do not have anything called tuple comprehension. Okay. So we'll stop here. For practice, you can try matrix addition. Okay. What else you can try? Okay. And if I provide you the numbers, you can check if it contains a perfect number. Okay. Give it a try. Let's take a range of 1 to 100. Okay. And filter out all perfect numbers from this. Okay. Because ultimately I can specify a range. I need a list, so I should able to solve it using comprehension. Okay. We have seen that problem, right? So if I have a dictionary which contains, otherwise let's try to do this here only. Let's see we can do it or not. So I have a dictionary which contains, let's say A is equals to 97, B is equals to 98, and C is equals to, let's say, 99. I want to convert keys into values and values into keys. Okay, using comprehension. So you can do using your dictionary comprehension. So I want to construct a dictionary. So I'm putting as brackets. Okay. I want both things, that is key and the value. So let's iterate over this. So for let's take a two values, key comma value and d dot. So only if I do only d, I'll get only keys. So I'm saying d dot items. Now from this, what you want to construct? Create a value colon key. Okay. Let's print key. Okay. So this is an example of your dictionary comprehension. So just change the brackets. Is it?
Semicolon, value semicolon is there, right?
Where? Here?
Here, that's it. Before
If I do this, because I need to specify key value pair, right? I cannot use this also. Okay. So you should generate a key and the value pair for that. Okay. So the same example, I guess you can do using this. So number and its square. Okay. So I want to create a dictionary, something like this. So instead of writing normal for loop and providing the assigning the values, just try to do this using your dictionary comprehension.
Time complexity less. How about memory?
Memory consumption is less as compared to for loops also. Ultimately, we can say memory consumption will be almost same. I don't think there will be any change in the memory consumptions because ultimately it's just we are taking advantage of the compiled bytecode. That's it. Operations where so if we do the map thing, it's far much more optimized than comprehension also.